Welcome back to Fitness Week. Can you believe we're already on video 3? Look, I know we've covered a lot of information. In video 1, we talked about getting started. We talked about moving every day. We talked about lifting weights. We talked about moving with velocity. We talked about playing and having fun. And then we moved on in video 2. We started talking about nutrition. We started talking about avoiding diets. We started talking about ensuring that you're cutting out processed foods. We talked about watching your portion size, eating whole foods, and following the 80-20 rule. Today, we're going to be talking about things that might be holding you back from leading that healthy lifestyle. Maybe it's friends, maybe it's bad habits that you've built up, poor sleep, whatever it might be. We're going to cover some fundamental things, some of the most common things that we've seen on our dojo that have held our students back. So I want to share those with you. So, the first one is get the right amount of sleep. Sleep is the only way that you can truly recover. Nutrition we covered last video, and that's the other way you can recover your body. But besides nutrition, the only real other way you can recover the body from the damage that you're doing in the workouts, because workouts do damage your cells. You need to recover from that, from your workouts, from your lifestyle, from sitting, all that is to sleep. Sleep is one of those things that we don't get enough of as humans. Really, we need 6 to 8 hours at a minimum. 6, and 8 is kind of that recommendation to go from. I know that finding 8 hours a day is difficult because that only gives you 16 hours to do everything else. But really, when you break it down, when you sleep more, you're more productive, you're happier, you live longer, and you recover from your workouts better. So really, when you sleep more, you truly do lead a better life. Number 2, find a way to de-stress. Now what I mean by de-stress is not distress, help me. No, I mean de-stress. I mean to relax yourself. So there are many ways to de-stress. In fact, if you go into our Facebook page, I did a video on how I de-stress, and I'll put a link in the email. Or I guess below here you'll see that link. When you de-stress, when your cortisol levels are high, let's start there. When your stress hormones are really high, that makes it really difficult for your body to recover. In fact, it puts you in this mode where your body is actually not going to grow muscle. It's gonna hang on to fat. It doesn't know whether or not to fight, flight, or be paralyzed. And stress is one of those things that really messes up your fitness results. So if you found that your life has been stressful, find a way to relax, find a way to cool down. And that could be just hanging out with friends, that could be hiking, that could be golfing, whatever the thing is for you. Maybe it's finding a project to do at your kid's school. Whatever that thing is for you, I want to make sure that you find that and you do it on a regular basis. Number 3, think positively. When you think positively, that really unleashes your mind into a new place where you can actually see results. I'm going to share with you a story my friend Luca shared with me. Imagine you're driving and it's downpouring rain. And on the side of the road, you see a woman who's going into labor, you see your best friend, and you see the love of your life, the woman that you love the most. So you pull over. Now the downside is you have a 2-seat vehicle and there's no space for anyone but 2 people. So what do? I'm going to give you a second to think about it. What's the solution here? Now, if you're a hopeless romantic, maybe you grab the love of your life. If you have that need to help people, maybe you grab the pregnant woman who's going into labor. Or if you're a true friend and you don't want to leave your buddy behind because he's going to be mad at you, you take your buddy. But here's the answer that most people don't think about, the one that's going to help the most to help everyone on the side of the road. What you do is this: you give your keys to your buddy, and your buddy drives the woman to the hospital, and you get to hang out with the love of your life. You see how that simple mental shift, that positive mind shift, changed the situation from, man, I'm screwing 2 people over, into this like, oh man, I have this opportunity to help a woman out, help my buddy out, and I get to share some time with the love of my life, and maybe I'll marry her one day or whatever it's going to be. So think about, hey, how can I shift my mindset to thinking more positively? Because here's the thing, when you start thinking in that way, you start your behaviors will reflect that, and then you start acting in that way. So once your thoughts, what you think become your actions, and then your actions become your habits, and your habits really become your destiny. So start thinking positively, because that's going to set you off in the right direction. Number 4 is don't beat yourself up. Look, this is a journey. Fitness is not a lifestyle where it's like, oh, you know what, I'm fit, I'm healthy, and now I'm done. Or, you know what, if I don't do everything perfectly every single day, then I've screwed up, and why even bother? Because those are usually the two mindsets that people have going into a fitness journey. So what I want you to think about is, hey, you know what, I'm not screwing up, I just made a mistake, I'm going to get back on track. Another car story for you. So if you're driving down the road and you get a flat tire, what do? Most people would say, you pull over, that's probably the first step. But what you won't do is you're not going to go open the trunk, grab the tire iron, and start destroying the car, bashing it up, right? No, you get the tire iron out, you grab the spare, and you change the tire. So when you fail, like maybe you had pizza when you're not supposed to have pizza, or maybe you missed a week of workouts, whatever it might be, don't smash the car up. Just get out, change the tire, and keep going on the journey. Make time for personal time is number 5. Now, from the moms out there, man, I know this is hard, and you're going to need some help from your spouse. But personal time, doing things by yourself, be that 5 minutes in the car, just alone, breathing. In fact, we had one of our students, as she's driving home, what she does is, before she leaves, she just sits in her car, engines off, and just breathes for 5 minutes. And then she goes on her way, and that's her personal time. But you know what? If it can be longer, if it can be reading or studying or doing something that you truly love, that plays into that relaxation. Because if you don't make time for yourself, then no one's going to put you first, right? So you got to put you first before you can put anyone else first, right? And that's really how you're going to be the best you. And it's also going to be the way that you can feel most energized and the happiest. It's also a way, now that I think about it, if you don't put yourself first, you're not going to get your workouts in, and you're not going to prepare your food, you're not going to eat healthfully. So really making time for yourself is one of the most important things you can do. Number 6 is to surround yourself with like-minded people. Now in this world, we have something that in Training for Warriors we call the resistance, right? That's the people who say you can't do it. That's the fast food companies who are marketing at you, trying to get you to eat their products. That's the confusing food labels, all these things. That's the resistance. We believe that, going into that resistance is a good thing. We feel that fighting that resistance is really what makes our lives better, because, we don't listen to the naysayers. We don't eat the junky food. We learn about nutrition. We eat the whole foods. Going into the roar, as we call it, and you'll learn more about that later. Going into the roar and going towards the scary thing and fighting that resistance, that's where you truly get better. So what I want to encourage you to do is surround your people who are fighting that resistance, into that resistance with you. People who are like-minded, people who can come around you and support you when things get tough. Because here's the thing, even me, who's on a fitness journey, man, I get tempted from time to time, probably on a daily basis, be it the cookies that are out at a meeting, or the fruit coffee drink, or maybe for me I'm gonna confess to you guys, I love a good bourbon, and so that can be a temptation for me, where I'm on a real big fitness kick and I go for the bourbon or whatever it's gonna be. So if I'm surrounded by people who are on the same mission as me, they're not going to let me fail, and they're not going to let me falter. So that's one thing that we call the familia, because at our facility, man, everyone here is on the same mission. Everyone here is on the same track, and we are fighting the resistance together. Look, I know there's a lot of information here, and I know we've gone over a lot of stuff in the last 3 videos, and it can be really hard to go on this journey alone. So I want to tell you about our 8-week challenge. Our 8-week challenge, I'm going to share with you more about it tomorrow, but it begins on February 6th. And it's a safe and effective adult fitness program designed to help you lose fat, build muscle, and feel good. We'll talk about that more tomorrow, but remember, start working on these habits right now. We'll see you then.